Hello and welcome to Suddenly Single, the new and hilarious dating podcast.
Where we're going to get our celeb mates to tell us about their dating disasters.
We're also going to have a few experts in the studio to tell us where you and I are going wrong.
Come on, and I don't think you've got enough makeup on.
I need the sun, I need inspiration. I just want to give.
Here we are, Suddenly Single. Anything changed in the last few nights, days, weeks for you?
No, same old, same old. What about you?
Same old, same old. Maybe we'll learn something from our guests.
Yes, our guest today is Sally Morgan, Psychic Sally, the medium.
Do you know
Can't
her?
wait. Well, not very well. I've met her once before, but I can't wait to see.
She's on the older rather than the younger side, and
Yes.
a widow.
Yeah. She's in her 70s. You lose your partner that you don't want to lose. She looks amazing, by the way.
Absolutely
for someone
amazing.
Of that age. Doesn't want an old fogey. She told me that.
Well, I'm not surprised
she
the way
wants
she
a
looks.
Yes, she looks great. But how do you measure up to someone you didn't want to lose? That's almost saintly.
We're going to find out now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just want to get out of here.
Okay, hi Sally.
Hello,
Thank
my
you for
darling.
coming in.
You're so
So you are a medium, but you are really known as Psychic Sal, aren't you?
I am.
For years you were.
I am. Well, I still am known that, I still get called that because Psychic Sal, it sort of trots off the tongue, doesn't it, quite nicely?
I've got so many questions, but
Well,
first
I'll try and answer them, but I mean,
well, we've not talked to anybody specifically who's approaching dating from bereavement, and we were both saying, just casually chatting, that's a really hard place to come from because
Can we just... how long ago did you lose your husband?
John died of COVID,
Yeah.
so it was, and, unfortunately, for us, it was right at the end of COVID. Would you believe it?
Yeah.
Or well, they say the end because COVID is still there. It will be with
Yeah.
us forever. It's
Yeah.
a virus now that is there. So I lost John in 2021, 27th of September, 2021. He was perfectly fine, and within 10 days he was dead.
that's
So
unbelievable.
that's a horrible
Yeah.
Well, we'd been together 51 years.
Oh my goodness me.
We'd been married at that
That
time.
actually gives me goosebumps.
Well, we've been married 47. Literally, our anniversary is February the 15th. So this February the 15th, it's just gone. We would have been married 49 years.
My goodness me.
So it's not a long time, I don't feel, if you've been with someone for 51 years, to I mean, it's quite difficult for anyone else to measure up to that, isn't it?
Oh, I would never want another man to measure up to John. John has my heart.
Yeah.
And John was John, and we've got children, so we've got grandchildren together. I think you see, we're using the word dating, which we have to use, don't we?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
dating. But I would look at it more as I'm very used to going out to eat. Our entertainment, we used to go at least twice a week, usually on a Wednesday and a Saturday, sometimes we go on a Sunday. So restaurants, and we'd go to nice places, and we might go to the theatre or a concert or visit friends. So it's more. It would be nice to have a man around me, like a companion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could ring you and say, well, do you not that John and I ever went down the pub really, but you say, well, do you fancy going out for a drink tonight, or do you fancy
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
for a meal on Saturday night? I'll book a table, or
Yeah.
do you know somewhere nice? That's the sort of.
So someone to do something
Well,
with.
That's
Can we
what I
just
miss.
address the elephant in the room first of all?
Yeah.
If you've been married or would have been at 50, were you married when you were 1 year old?
Yeah, no, darling, I wish.
That's
I know.
amazing, but you
I am
don't-
in my
and no-
I am in my early 70s.
Which
so,
is unbelievable. You don't look like you're in
well,
your
that's
late
very kind.
50s.
Well, that's very kind. That's very
That is
kind.
amazing. So,
But
are you looking for somebody that's similar age to you, or somebody that's
Oh,
got your energy? Because you've
no.
got a lot of energy.
Thank you. It would have to be somebody my age.
See, a little bird told me that you don't want an old fogey, and I'm not going to tell you who said that to me, but they do.
well,
They want an old fogey.
well, I wouldn't want anybody that was.
Mentally.
No,
Yeah.
they've got to be. John
You
was
just mean
very.
the energy.
Well, John was very alert. I would say had my energy, but he was very alert. He was incredibly interested in politics, and he knew everything that was in the news. He was into topical news.
Yeah. Current affairs.
Yeah, so he would say something to me, I'd go, what? What is all that about? So, and I find myself now having Sky on or GMB or Talk TV or whatever. I have all the news and
Nobody
CNN.
to share it with.
Because that I'm used to that. It was either that.
Well,
or
on one of your
cricket.
TV series, I've seen a couple of episodes. He was very much part and parcel of the tour as well, wasn't he?
Well,
you
he
know,
was
you turn
only,
up, he'd
yeah,
drive you,
yeah.
you go in the
Right.
theatre, and so that is
Yeah.
24/7.
Well, it was, and that was early on. I mean, I now very quickly he got fed up with the driving, up to Scotland or to
Yeah, that's a
Yorkshire.
bit
Or,
bad.
so I now have my son-in-law's my tour manager.
Right.
So he takes care of the hotels, the luggage, getting in the theatres, organising. You know what it's like
Yeah.
in theatre. There's
Yeah.
lots of paperwork, bureaucracy when you arrive. So he takes care of that. But yeah, he was very much part of. We were like one person.
And he would have understood that you were giving a lot of your time to people once the front door opened.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people wouldn't assume that about a personality or what you do, that they just think you're like that, but you are giving a lot of your energy away all the time, aren't you?
Yeah, so it would
So,
have to
but
be.
dating's like that. When if you
Yeah.
start dating, it's giving energy to somebody. That's why people get put off from dating, because it's not reciprocated.
Yeah, well, it would have to be.
Yeah.
You know, I would have to have somebody that I couldn't have anybody that said, I don't really like the idea of you touring or you being away 4 days this week and 2 days next. It's like, well,
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah,
That is my life.
yeah. It's never going to change.
It's never going to change.
Have you been on any dates?
No,
None at all?
none at all. I tell you what, at his funeral, there were like 200 men at John's funeral, maybe even more. And one of them asked me on a date
At the funeral?
at John's funeral.
Oh my God.
Bit early.
I went into it was like, is this gonna happen? And then because I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because
Why
I'm
would
still
you?
John is no longer here, but I'm still married to John.
Of
Yeah.
course you are.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
I talk to him all the time, and it's like I don't know if I can be on my own, John, for the rest of my life, however long or short that may be.
But I like the way you talked about it, about being companionship, because, I mean, I feel the same actually, I think. I like having someone to go out for dinner with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've said
I
that
have
before.
I have quite a lot of platonic male friends, and I think, well, if I really need someone to go to this thing or what have you, it's nice to have those
Yeah.
people to
Well,
ring.
I do. I have, and I went to Sunday lunch with a very, very good. He's a very famous guy and his family last Sunday, and he's like the friend. But obviously, I know his family and his wife and everything. And it was really strange because, John would, and they had other people there, and I was just the woman. You feel like, basically, you're a bit of a gooseberry, you know.
Yeah, you're in a busy social bit, but you feel alone at the same time.
Very,
Yeah.
what a good way to put it, Tim,
Yeah,
because
a
that's
friend of mine-
exactly how I felt.
A friend of mine who's from up north, who's into football, he's Wrexham supporter, he split with his wife. And he said, I was with 20,000 screaming fans in the terrace and felt the loneliest man in the
Yeah.
world.
Aw.
Because he was on his own, he was going to
yeah.
go home.
And
on
how
his
old
own.
is he, Tim? How old is he?
Have you got a picture?
I'll put-
Have you got a
it's
picture? Yeah.
He's a
Can you
Wrexham
send?
fan.
Can you send him a picture of me? I don't care what. I don't follow football. Do you know what I mean? It's like
How do
no.
you feel about Wales, Sally?
Where do you think you'll meet somebody though? Because you've got a
Would you
very
do
busy life. You know, how are they
dating?
going to get through the
The apps.
Not that you put up a defence at all. I don't mean that, but you've got a busy time of work and travel and family and grandchildren and energy that you're going out and seeing other people. Where are they going to come from?
Well, I think they'd have to be someone that, understood my lifestyle and perhaps even had a similar lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not wanting a companion that is wanting me 24/7 and I don't want him 20. It's like
Yeah.
we can still have our lives.
Would you go on a dating site?
No.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't
What
go on a
about
date. I tell you,
agency?
the thing is that not that I am famous because I'm not
Well,
saying
you
that.
are.
I'm not. But
think
the thing is,
everyone in the
can you
country-
imagine if I was on a dating site? That would immediately be. It would be a story.
Yes.
If you went on a dating app, you have to be so careful.
But a lot of famous people are on dating apps now, and there's the dating app called Raya,
Raya.
where it's specifically tailored to celebrities.
Oh right.
So there'll be lots of other famous people out there on that dating app.
There are
American.
Also agencies
Yeah, there are.
that have celebrities on their book. Is that not something that you would be interested
Well,
in?
the only thing with a date because I've never ever looked at because I've
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
wishing
you've
to
been
sound
happy.
conceited here. Whenever before I married John, if I went on I was bombard. I could have gone out with who I
yeah.
wanted to go out with.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
of
mean?
course, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but those were the days also when you could get the Evening Standard and anyone could get a job. The whole back pages were full of jobs. You can't do that anymore. Do you know what I mean? So I'm
It's
sure
got harder.
it's got harder. It's got harder.
Okay, so if dating agencies aren't, it's really, would you meet somebody in your daily life?
No, not really.
No. Friends set you up?
Well, no.
No.
My friends, all my friends are very happily married, and they are. A lot of my friends are a lot younger than me.
But
Do you
that's
know what?
you
I
want,
don't
though.
think you should diss this younger thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't. One of my friends said the reason your life never works out is because you don't date men younger than you. She's 63. She's married to a guy who's 40. They've been very happy for about, well, at least 10 years. And she said, by the time he has a midlife crisis, I'll be gone.
That's one way of looking at it.
And I think I have dated a lot of men who have had a midlife crisis.
I'm still you because of my age aspect of chemistry.
Yeah, yeah,
When you meet someone
So that's
and you
true.
look at them,
Yeah.
you know, don't you?
yeah. But you've got to be in the race to win it. To get to that point,
I know.
You've got to tick a few boxes of what
I know.
If you
Yeah.
were looks-wise, what would you be? Are you more of a Tom Cruise or an Omar Sharif?
Oh, I don't
or
ever
are
looks
you
don't bother me.
Peter Sellers or
Laughter.
I love. It's got to have a sense of humour.
good sense of humour.
Amazing. I'd have to, laugh at. We've got to have a similar because I've got a great sense of humour,
Right.
and also I quite like dark-haired men.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah. Dark-haired
So-
men with a sense of humour. That's the
Yeah.
starting
And they've
point.
got to have hair.
No,
Bald.
it don't matter.
Doesn't really.
It doesn't bother me at all. And looks don't really bother me.
Really.
No, they don't bother
No,
me.
if it's a nice
Never have.
seriously, it's
Never
not.
have.
I tell you what, I like nice teeth and nice shoes.
Nice teeth. And so if he turned up on a first date just in some shoes and a smile.
Yeah, they'd be fun. Yeah, and yeah, dark eyes. Yeah, yeah. But seriously, it doesn't. Because you can always change that. You can always say, do you know what? If you got to know them, I prefer you in that. Can you let me dress you up? But nice teeth, nice shoes. Yeah, and a sense of humour.
That's quite a nice combination, actually,
That's
because
lovely.
it's
Can I have
and
one
it's
of
just the
them?
positives of something. And presumably,
I mean, that
though,
sounds
but,
like quite shallow.
but
to
no,
say
not at all.
the nice shoes.
but if you throw up, and you'd also
It
want
means
somebody
they
that's good
care
with
about their
children because you've got grandchildren.
Oh no, but they're all adult. I haven't got
Okay.
any babies.
Okay.
And I don't intend. I wouldn't be looking at to introduce him to my family immediately. Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't worry me if he had a family like I've got. And it's like, I don't want my son to meet you on my. Okay, great, because it's about you and him, isn't it?
So you're looking more like you would like a companion friend,
A
as
companion.
opposed to you
Yeah.
would never want to get married again, or
Well, no, that doesn't even
No.
enter my head,
No.
and I couldn't disrespect my children. But also, I think that it's how it grows,
Yeah.
and if there was like a physical side to it,
Yeah.
great if that happened.
But start it at a level where you're just getting friendly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You must have friends who've lost husbands or wives. Have they given you any feedback on what it's like to date at a later stage?
Well, no, because I have got friends that have lost two have lost husbands, and one lost his wife. But we were all younger then. So very easily, if you're in your 30s or your 40s, and you are going to meet somebody, and possibly, it's very different at my stage in life.
Do you think it's harder for men who are bereaved when they're older, or women, or do you think
I
the
think
mix
it's
of it?
harder for men.
Yeah, I think it is as well, because you seem to have got your shit together already.
Well, men
about
get
what-
stuck. Men as they get older can get very stuck. They can become quite lazy with themselves when they
Yeah,
get older.
yeah.
Especially if they're in a relationship and they're comfortable.
Yeah, they'd risk less as well.
I don't want a companion that I've got to cook and look after like I used to do with John. I mean, I've been with John years. I'd really like for someone to say, actually no, let's cook together, or I'll cook you a meal.
Yeah.
Let's go out. That's
Yeah.
really way up. Let's go out to dinner. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So a Gordon Ramsay-esque type of person that's good at cooking, but a bit of sense of humour about him.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, if I said, I want somebody that's good at cooking, I don't want anybody
That's better than you.
No, and that it's going to say that parsnip's been cut wrong. I mean, it's like straight away that'd be, I'm not seeing him anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it is harder. It's harder for anybody to date if you've been in a successful relationship whatever the reason that relationship has come to an end.
Yeah.
Because you always have something you're comparing to that isn't real, because that was a relationship of, in your case, 45 years, 50 years.
Yeah.
Me, maybe 3 or 4 years of an intimate relationship. And then you go, bang, you're going out to meet somebody for the first time and you go, well, I don't have that chemistry. Well, you're not going to have that chemistry, are you, with the next person?
No, well, I've already, hopefully, that there's no way I'm, like you said, there's no way I'm going to replace John.
No.
Yeah.
I've no intention of doing that.
No.
Yeah.
John was John. John was in my life for that length of time. John can never leave that.
No.
We are one. So now, for however long I have left, it would be nice to have a completely different person that I sort of imagine John looking at, laughing.
Oh,
Saying,
that's
"Oh my
nice,
God, how
yeah.
different to me is that?" You know, and me smiling. You know.
Yeah.
So it's they're out there can be an equally lovely person,
That's
but who is
different.
totally different to John.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's because I've known men with my work when John was there that I would have thought, oh, if John wasn't here, I could quite easily have a relationship with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
I don't know.
So
Trying to remember them.
what's your routine at the moment? You're back on tour at the moment. You've
I
got a
am.
new book out. So where will you be over the next few months to hopefully squeeze in a date?
Well, I shall be around. I mean, I tour the UK, so I'm not touring every single day.
So you go back home,
Yeah, it's like
back out.
I've got a gig tomorrow night, and then next week I've got 3 gigs, and
Yeah.
I go home.
Yeah.
So I live in Surrey, so I'm around.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure we must have somebody that we can recommend.
A nice person in
Yeah.
Surrey.
Yeah.
Do
We
you
don't have to be in Surrey. I mean, it would be wherever he's from. Do you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
doesn't bother me. I'm not saying I want to, because I'm a Londoner through
Yeah.
and through. I was born and brought up in Fulham,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
London to me
Yeah.
is also a place that is very dear to my heart.
like a nice Essex boy?
Well, I'm not Essex.
No,
I'm
I
not-
know, but do you like them?
Yeah,
Because they're
Essex.
very well dressed, aren't they? Quite London.
We had
aren't
an
they?
Essex boy on earlier
yes, we
on
did,
another
we did.
podcast, didn't we? James Locke, do you know, he's from The Only Way is Essex. Millions of followers on Instagram, but he decided to be purposefully single at the moment.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, because he wants to concentrate on other stuff. But he says lots of women slide into the DMs, direct messaging on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not
Do
going to. Well, why would I do that?
Well, it's not you doing it, it's just seeing have people slid into your DMs on Instagram.
Oh yeah, we've
Like
had that.
post-
We look at her, and she.
Really?
But you see, I'm really lucky. I've got Fern does all the socials for me.
Right, okay.
So she'll sometimes answer as me. me.
Oh
Say
my
thank
God.
you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
And I've
Does
got.
it give her a good laugh?
Well, I've got
Oh,
a couple
sorry.
at the moment. I've got a
Have
couple
you?
at the moment. Oh God, yeah.
Anyone who might be a possible?
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
That's
And
not the way
was,
to ask
well, it was an
about
absolute
either.
not, because he put himself somewhere where I was, and I
Oh.
took one look at his feet and his teeth, his
Oh.
shoes, and it was like, you ain't coming near me.
Yeah. And he put himself in a position that he was like almost stalkery.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to put it out
Yeah.
there, to date Sally Morgan, clean your shoes. All right, guys?
We'll get a decent pair.
We had a relationship
Where do I
expert
get
on
time
last time,
from?
and she
Okay,
said
when you go-
whatever you excel at, what you're happy doing, that's where you're going to meet somebody. So,
She'd have to literally pick someone out of the audience on
well,
that
couldn't you do
basis.
that?
You know what I see in your future? Me.
That's actually brilliant.
yeah.
You should use that as a
Yeah,
line when
yeah.
you
Yeah.
spot him.
Yeah, and he's probably sitting next to his wife or his girlfriend. You know, they do. There are some really lovely guys that stand up, and I always I tease them. You know, and you can see the wife. She sort of comes into the shop. It's like, oh, you're with your wife. Oh, well, she's my girlfriend. It's like, oh, well, you know.
Well, should we get our relationship expert in?
Let's go and get her in.
Yeah. Just wanna get out of here.
Melissa, meet Sally.
Hello,
Sally,
mate.
Melissa.
Pleased to meet you.
Melissa's a life coach and relationship expert.
We need you.
Melissa. We all need you.
Come on.
Melissa.
And before you joined us, Sally was saying that she's bereaved from a couple of years ago, but ready to date, but very busy. Wants a certain standard because she's worked very hard to get to her standard. But I was, and you were saying, well, where are you going to meet somebody? How do you get into that frame of mind that you're going to open up the doors to meet people? And
Where do I go? Yeah, to
where
find
do you go?
that.
And how do you quell that nervousness of getting out there on the date? Because it's all well and good that we're all talking here in a kind of
Yeah,
sterile environment.
I am very nervous. I am very.
But you said you were
I get
nervous when you
frightened
went on a
because I
date.
think, oh my God, they're going to want to kiss. They're going to want to kiss me because I find.
Oh, no,
you see,
no,
this
no,
is
no,
another
no,
thing.
you
It's
don't
at
Taken
my
to
age.
do any of
Wagamama's,
that
there's a big
stuff.
table
Yeah,
there.
but you know, the thing is that for me, kissing is incredibly intimate.
I don't
There were
think
people that would go, "What? That's not being intimate," but to me,
Sally,
it is.
I've been on a lot of dates, and I honestly, unless I agreed to a date after I'd known someone for quite a long time, nobody tries to kiss you on a first date. They
Oh,
don't.
good.
If you
But also, what I'm hearing,
or if you kiss everybody on a first date, look at him, he's about to
I was just
roll
laughing
off
at
his
in a
chair.
previous podcast. He said, "Well, there's no super likes on my app."
Oh
And
yes.
it's like, well,
yes.
there might be,
So,
because I've never had super likes on one of my apps.
but what I'm hearing from you is, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm scared about asking for what I want.
Yeah, that is.
Drop that in.
Well, so what do I do?
Well, what do you think you do?
Well, I'd say
What's
if
the
You haven't
opposite?
done
If
a
I-
date yet,
No,
have
I
you?
haven't done a date yet. I haven't done a date
What
yet.
does Albert Einstein say? If you do what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always got.
Yeah.
So far, you've been operating from, if I can
Yeah.
say it, maybe a little bit of fear
Yeah. Well,
to
yeah.
express yourself. So what's the opposite of fear?
Well, I've got plenty of confidence.
Good.
Yeah.
Right. So when you go on your next date,
Yeah.
what I'm going to encourage you
How
to
am
do
I going to
is...
get a date though? First
Right,
of
we're
all?
gonna talk
Well,
about
I haven't
that.
even got the. I haven't even been asked
How
on a
is
date.
she getting a date?
How are you get... Miss Hot, how are you getting a
Oh,
date?
yeah.
I know, she is Miss Hot,
Miss
right?
Funny, Miss Interesting,
Yeah.
Miss Connected, okay, Miss Shy, Vulnerable.
Yeah, I am very shy.
What do you love doing? What it's describe to us what is
Shopping.
shopping?
Shopping,
Shopping on Bond Street in London.
definitely.
I like shopping.
Okay.
Or
There
in,
you
or
are,
in.
you're Sally's perfect match.
Yeah.
So
I
that
love
likes
sh-
your
I love
muscles,
Why do you
really
want the
like
talking
shopping.
I love
Yeah.
Westfield and I love.
Which Westfield?
Well, the best one. Wherever I am, really.
Hold on, no, which
Yeah,
one?
when I love Selfridges, and I love Selfridges in Manchester,
Oh!
and I love Selfridges in Birmingham, and I love Selfridges in London. Yeah,
So what is it about shopping that you love? Is it the is
Buying
it you do
things for
buying
myself.
things? Okay, for the home. So
no,
there's-
not for the home, for me.
right. For
One for the
yourself.
home. I've got a lovely home,
Yeah.
and I just like to. I like nice things.
So you like the experience
Definitely.
of shopping.
I'm addicted.
So in Selfridges, for example, in central London, they've got some fantastic bars, haven't they? In the
Yes.
centre of the shop.
Yeah, how
Bar
nice.
of light.
Nice
yeah.
glass of champagne, little bit of caviar.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you very
caviar would suit me down to the ground.
Oh, I
Okay.
hate
I
caviar.
love caviar,
So we've worked out what you're doing on your first
and
date.
I love France.
much. Okay, so you can shop.
And I love
Who knows
Dubai.
France? Is there a great shop in France?
Well, I like the south of France. I just want to
Cannes.
just go with.
Cannes.
Cannes all right. I've got friends that live in
Nice.
Cannes. Well, no, and I like Nice. I like the front end. I like Monaco, and I like the south of France.
Right.
Bloody hell, that's,
Central
Monaco's expensive.
Well, it's not really, but I know all the nice little places in Monaco.
So I think you know what you like.
Yeah.
And my suggestion would be
Go
that
there.
you immerse yourself in the environment that you love and
Yeah.
just enjoy it.
Well, I
and
would-
give yourself permission to ask for what
Yeah.
you want.
Well, if I totally agree with you, and that would be wonderful if I had the time to spend myself. I would be on that plane. I'd be in Monaco, because I've got friends that I could stay with there.
But working is the block that's stopping you doing
Well, working, I have to work to earn the money to go to Monaco.
It's a fine line, but you have to put out there that you're. Do most people know that you're ready to
No,
date?
because most people are terrified of the fact that John died, and that's the reason I'm single. And they know that we were together all those years.
Seems the love of your life.
Well, he was, and he will always be the love of my life. But, you know,
But maybe you should look at it in a different way. You're such a fun woman, you really are. And if you were to say, right, I'm
I'll
going
take you to Monaco.
meet so and so at the Selfridges bar, and we're going to have one glass of champagne and some canapes with caviar on them. That's like an hour of your time. You can find that, right?
I had a
oh
really.
God, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
can find a day to do that.
So we just need to find that person
Oh yeah.
and who understands that actually you're only ready for a friend now, but you would like
Yes.
to get out there and you would like to
Yeah.
occasionally have dinner with someone and
And
everything.
if it's important to you, treat it as a job. You're going to kiss some
Yeah.
frogs. that are not going to turn into princes.
Absolutely.
And go, I'm not expecting all or nothing. Go, I'll do 5 dates over the next month, and I'm going to throw some holy
Where am
water.
I going to get these dates? 5 different dates?
Yeah, 5 different. Well, let's say 3 dates. We've already negotiated
Yeah.
it down. 3 dates in 1 year, but you've got to do it and make sure you stick to it and go out and think that wasn't right, but I did it, and I'm going to get back on the horse and do another one.
So what we need to do is find you one person to have this.
But that would be
champagne
nice.
and
I don't really
caviar
want
with.
3 men sitting there.
It'd be like blind date with Scylla, wouldn't it?
But one would be nice, yeah.
So aside from shopping, what are your other interests?
I love gardening. And I've just created a kitchen garden, like vegetable beds, raised
lavender.
beds. Well, you can come round and have a look.
Bit of
All of you
chives.
can come round. Yeah, but got all that. I love gardening. I love my dog.
Oh,
So I love animals.
dog lover. What
I'm
type
a
of
great-
dog have you got?
I've got a bulldog.
Oh my goodness.
So
that
dog
can-
lover is important in a partner.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want anyone that doesn't like dogs.
Yeah.
So
No,
think
with you,
laterally.
with
2
you.
suggestions that I can straight away think of are Chelsea Flowers Show,
I love Chelsea. Well, I'm a member of RHS.
Press Day,
Psychic Gardens.
Chelsea Flowers,
Psychic
Garden, and Crufts on the VIP day.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
Do
or
it.
just, do you walk, mind you, I know a bulldog doesn't need a lot of walking, but do you take the dog out to the park?
No,
That's
I've
a
got
great
well
way of
where I
meeting
live. And it is, but I live where there are woods. It goes in the goes out
Dogging.
for a walk.
I'm trying to help you here. We're going to get you out of the house.
She's
What's
well,
those
my girlfriend's got a sign just gone dogging because she's a dog groomer. She's got that sign. Yeah.
Another great
Put it in
way
the
of
back of your
meeting
car.
people is recommending. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, who
weren't
can
we?
you recommend?
Right, I'm thinking now. I've got it in my head.
And you don't know anybody. I would love to meet somebody that's got a stately home because I love big houses and I do love. I don't ski, but I love après. So I love being in a
I'm
ski
with you on that
resort.
one.
But that's another wonderful way. Pick
Yeah.
cloisters or some
Or
fabulous.
Stad or Courchevel 1850.
Verbier, exactly.
Yeah, well,
Hang out in environments where
Well,
you're
I've
going to
done
find
that,
people
but I had John with
that
me
match your energy, that
Mm.
match your outlook for life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Need to
also-
go to with a girlfriend
Yes.
for a weekend.
Yeah.
What Siobhan was saying is this
But that can look desperate, can't it?
No.
No.
No, you're skiing
When
with
you're
a
with a
girlfriend.
girlfriend. Yeah. It doesn't look desperate that you're.
No.
Well, I must look very desperate then, Sally, because I go away with girlfriends quite
Oh,
a
do
lot.
Do you? Well, I'm coming
Yeah.
with you then.
Okay, you can come with me.
Right, I think we should do the goldfish bowl of
Of
truth.
Yeah. Just wanna get out of here. Woke up feeling good.
Right, so Sally, this is our goldfish bowl of truth.
Go on then.
We're not going to only make you answer, we're not going to put you on the
wow.
spot.
Yeah.
We'll all tell you the truth.
Little hearts beating,
Ooh.
fluttering there.
Would you split the first bill?
Yes.
You would.
Yes.
If you're on a first date, you would split the bill.
I would split the first bit if I was on a date, but on the first date, I would expect him to pay.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he wasn't going to pay, then there'd be no problem. I would split it, but I'd never see him again.
Do
There'd
you
be
know
no
what?
problem,
Very
but-
good.
Yeah.
That's
good.
exactly it.
Because it's not aligned with
I
your
often
values.
pay either if I want to get out of there quickly or I
Yeah.
don't want to see them again.
Oh yeah, and if I wanted to get out there quickly, and I'd pay the whole bill. If I
Yeah.
wanted to get out there quickly, I'd say, look, this isn't working for me, but don't worry, I've paid the bill. Bye.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you generally want to start off as you mean to go on. And if you are looking for a high value man, someone financially
Oh, I like that high value.
affluent, yeah,
Affluent.
and that's how you want to roll, and you
Yeah.
like him, you know, have a little gauge and see, is he going to offer to pay?
Can I follow that up? Because I tend to pay for the bills if I go on a first date or a second
Oh.
date. Yeah, but that's just the norm, and you're not going
Yeah.
out for. I don't take them to Claridge's on the first date, or you just go out for coffee or a couple of glasses of wine. Do you think it would be reasonable to expect the other person to text the next day and say thank you
Yes.
for a lovely
Absolutely.
evening, and just acknowledging that they've paid for the drinks or the food?
Absolutely.
Because
I
that
would.
the amount of
don't
time
even
that
say
doesn't.
thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Well, I think it's manners, you see. But then
Rude.
I think just by saying that,
Ladies.
and I'm the same, manners and politeness, they would have to know that. And I think
Yes.
that does come with experience, and I think it comes with
Class.
travelling and class. But I mean, I'm not saying you can get somebody that has earned their millions or whatever by being a plumber. Great. That
Yeah.
don't bother me whatsoever.
But I've got children who are 5 years old, and if somebody gives them something, I tell them to say thank you. And
Absolutely.
if they don't suddenly I tickle them until they're laughing and saying thank you to make sure it's a thing that they are.
Definitely.
Because it's amazing.
yeah.
Tim, that's a
People-
great indicator of someone's character, because
Definitely.
the opposite of
Yeah.
gratitude is entitlement. So if that's important for you to have somebody, you know, that is grateful, for a coffee, that's
And my time, my
think-
wisdom.
right, and that's what you want. Just be careful of that, because if you're not getting the text, there is a possibility that person is entitled, and potentially that is not somebody that is aligned with your values.
But going to the next level is if you have dinner and you cook for somebody, would you expect them to bring a bottle of wine
Yeah.
or flowers?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go anywhere.
Both.
I would
do.
not. I would not
Wine
go
and flowers.
anywhere unless I took something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I always say this. My mum, I never forget it. We go to tea on a Sunday. This is in the 50s and the 60s. We didn't have any money, but she'd take us a bottle of milk because we're having a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would never. You would
Yeah,
never go to enter when you were invited somewhere without something.
So
Got strictly.
generosity is an important value for you.
That's
But I can't believe that is an important value for anybody.
But it isn't.
Who wouldn't
there
want
are
that?
there are a lot of people that wouldn't.
Really?
I have people to dinner, and they are people that
A lot of mean
you
people.
could say no, their ethos like myself, their work ethos, and they they don't come with anything. I wouldn't dream of going anywhere.
Again,
with
if it's a regular thing and they've come and last time they brought a bottle of wine and they didn't this time because they're running late, that's fine. But on a date and somebody's coming over and you've cooked for
Definitely.
them. Right,
Definitely.
ladies, it's your turn for a.
Sally.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, we're sorry about that. My gold was just in the bowl there. Have you ever dumped anyone by text? No.
Yeah. That's a very black and white answer.
And I think that, but let's be honest here, I was married a long time.
50
so,
years.
50 odd years. So it's a bit like, we didn't have mobile phones then. But have I ever dumped anyone on the phone? Yes. Before I met John, I remember, we had a landline,
Yeah.
and I lived at home with mum and dad,
Yeah.
and I would often say to my mum, "Oh, I don't want to talk to him. I went out with him last night. I don't want." And mum would go, "I'm telling him, don't be such a naughty girl. You've got." and I would walk out,
Yeah.
out the sitting room,
Yeah.
and left it to her to say, "Well, excuses."
Yeah.
So, have I ever dumped anyone on the phone? Yes.
But you've ghosted them via your mum in the 50s.
Yeah. Well, ghosting is what? Explain that to me again.
It's just basically you've had something, a date or a conversation with somebody, they've expected to keep in touch with you, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you've just cut them
Oh,
dead.
definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done that plenty of times.
Yeah.
So my theory on your answer, your question is, we don't owe anybody anything apart from ourselves.
Yeah.
Until you have developed a relationship
Yeah.
to a certain point.
Yeah.
So, look, it's nice, to kind of call people and,
Yeah.
spend your time and say, sorry,
well,
it
I
doesn't
can,
work,
yeah.
and give you a reason. But actually, if you've just been on one date, I think a text is fine.
Yeah.
If you've been on 3 or 4, maybe give them a courtesy call.
And I also think if the other person that you are dumping, like these guys, these kids, because I was a kid, they knew that I didn't. I must have made it quite obvious I was never going to see them
Yeah.
again. I mean, there was one guy. He was lovely when I think of it, and he arrived to take me out to the pictures in Putney, and he had a white jacket on, and he arrived, and I walked upstairs. We lived in the basement. And I said, "Oh, you look like the ice cream man." I went, "I'm not going out with you." So he went to me.
My.
He went, "I know, I was sort of like vicious." And I remember, and he went, "Oh, what?" I went, "I don't like your white jacket. I'll take it." I went, "No." So he leaves, and it was like, oh, I thought I was just absolutely fantastic. I've just split with him. I told him I've dumped him because about a year later, I was walking home in Fulham, down the Fulham Road, and I saw him with a girl. He was so handsome.
Thank God for that.
And it was with, and
I
it
thought
was
you were going
like,
to say he was collecting
but he
coins
didn't want
on
to.
the side
He
of the
went.
street.
See, that's a lesson
I-
to self. You can change their jacket, you can't change their face.
But also
Yeah.
lesson to self. It was like, what have I done? I wanted to go out with him then because he didn't want to know me because I was absolutely horrible to him. So be careful when you dump someone by text.
Yeah. And it can come
Be
back
careful
to
what
you.
you wish for. It can come back to you. Yeah.
Who is your celebrity crush? Well, I think it changes all the time, doesn't it, really? But I think back in the day when I was in my early 20s, I would say somebody like Naomi Campbell when she was at the height of her catwalk and somebody like that. But now, the looks-wise, it changes to whoever makes me laugh at the time when I see them on television, or they've
Sense
got
of
a
humour.
good answer, or they say something that resonates. So it's less about looks now. But who are you? An Omar Sharif, George Clooney?
Monty Don is my celebrity
Oh,
crush.
good with his hands.
Oh, he's lovely with
He'd
his
live in
hands.
his garden.
And I mean, he's very happily married.
What do you like about him?
Well, I love the way he looks, the way he dresses. I love the fact that he's the most incredible gardener and will get his hands dirty.
Quite spiritual as well, isn't he?
Is he?
Well, he's kind of in touch with
Well,
Earth.
but he loves dogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
But Monty Don, the way he dresses when he goes around Italy, it's like, oh my god.
It's now the Spanish Gardens, now the series. Isn't
Oh, is it the Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
yes.
mum's a big gardener, very talented gardener, and she stopped watching it. Because I said, why have you stopped watching it? Because of Monty Don. And she went, there's nothing he can tell me that I don't know now, darling.
Oh yeah.
So that was it.
Oh,
That's
I
the
need
end
to
of
talk
it.
to your mum. But he's my celebrity crush.
That's quite a good celebrity crush. What about you?
Mine is Richard E. Grant.
Oh,
As you say, it changes, but it is
Reg.
currently.
He's just lost. He's grieving.
He has. He is
He's
grieving.
grieving.
I follow him on Instagram just to let
So
him know
do
I'm
I.
available for weddings and bar mitzvahs.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was John Travolta.
Oh, yours was John.
Oh.
Oh, we like John
Yeah.
Travolta.
He's nice.
Do you
Dennis and
believe in love at
First sight. Yes,
Totally.
I do. Yeah,
Totally.
do you? Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally.
I believe we.
Totally.
I think it's like you're right. It's either yes or no. But that's very me. I'm
Absolutely.
very black and white. So love at first
I think
sight.
we've all got an inner wisdom, and it depends on what stage in our life that we're at. Whether
Are
we're
you
tapping
with someone
into
now?
It. Yes.
And did you fall in love with him straight
Are
away?
you psychic?
Yeah. Call me psychic.
If you all believe in love at first sight, do you believe there's more than one love for
Yes.
everybody?
Well,
too?
I think there can be, but I think they're different loves. It's like I will never, ever,
that's it.
ever love a man like I love John, ever. And I had his children, which is huge. To give birth and be in that much pain for a man, you've got to love him. Do you know what I mean? And I've got his children, and you know that every time I look at them, I see him. But I just think that maybe there's another sort of love
Yeah.
Agreed.
because I've got a life to live.
Yeah.
Different ages of life as well. What you look for is different.
Exactly. Oh, I totally
Yeah.
agree with you. And I think that my girls want me to be happy. And I'm
course.
certainly not going to go and live with them. They're not
Yeah.
going to have, you know, an old decrepit mother live with them.
But the flip side to that is that even in my early 50s, I think life is to be lived with. You don't know how long you've got left.
Definitely.
But also the flip side to that is I'm not going to put up with that crap. So you kind of weed out people quicker because you're just not going to deal
And you're
with them.
different. I'm a different person
Yeah.
now to what I was in my early 20s when I met John.
Yeah, of course
I'm
you
a
are,
totally
yeah.
different
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also think for you, Sally, the person that will walk into your life will be somebody that lets you be you.
Oh, well, they'd have got to be. Well, John was like, I could never have, although in my 20s, I didn't know who I was. And I was doing ridiculous things when I look at it. But he allowed that in a strange way.
I
That
can
love.
sense someone's going to be a strong character, but there's someone that's happy to stand by your side or behind you.
Yeah, well, stand by my side would be lovely.
And on that bombshell, if there's any Monty Dons out there that are single, good with their hands, bring them to Sally, they're suddenly single.
Yeah. Just wanna get out of here.
So next week, beauty guru Ate Jewel spills on the horror of having inappropriate 20-somethings sliding into her DMs, how to avoid craving booze or sex, and why a heartbreaking comment made her change her look.
Up right now.